How web design can help with SEO. Search engine optimization is one of the easiest ways that new startups can spread the word about the products and services they offer through their website. This process involves a variety of different things, but one aspect of SEO that a lot of companies that offer UK web development tend to forget is the fact that web design is also an extremely important part of this and can make or break your site's potential by a huge margin. Provided below are a number of web design tips that would enable you to incorporate SEO into the very design theme of your website. Keep it simple. A lot of the time, web design UK companies make the mistake of going overboard when it comes to the overall design of the site. Simple web design is a great option because it would remove all of the fluff from your site, thereby making it far more likely that a web crawler would find pertinent content on your various web pages and thereby list your site and rank it quite highly when people search for the keywords that you have injected. While flashy web design may sound like a good idea, it also makes cheap development pretty much impossible while also reducing the SEO that you are trying so hard to apply. If you are designing your site yourself, avoid adding anything overly flashy, and if you have hired someone to do the job for you, make sure that they know that they need to do this as well. Use 301 redirects. Nowadays, 301 and 302 web redirects are equally popular when it comes to web design. It is certainly true that the vast majority of users are not going to notice any kind of difference between these two redirects, so it does not really matter which one you use if your goal is optimal user experience and nothing else. However, 301 redirects are seen a lot more favorably in the proverbial eyes of a web crawler. Opting for 301 redirects has absolutely no impact on user experience, making it as optimal as it would have been otherwise. But it is also important to note the fact that it helps make SEO a lot easier and is therefore in many ways the preferable option for you to go for if you want maximum traffic being directed to your site. Keep URLs short. A long or complicated URL is going to make it far less likely that your site is going to end up ranking highly on a search engine. This is because long and complicated URLs count against you when web crawlers are listing your site, since this is a sign of an unprofessional site that would not have adequate content for people searching for these keywords. Try to keep your URLs as simple as possible. A good way to judge whether or not your URL is adequate is to try and remember it. If it is easy enough for a person with a regular memory to remember, then it is the sort of URL that would optimize your search engine potential a great deal. This is extra work, but it really is worth it. Another major reason that you really should consider keeping your URLs short is the fact that it would make the creation of backlinks a lot easier. People that share by copy-pasting the URL are going to be able to fit your links into the character limit that Twitter imposes. And just in general, shorter links are far more likely to get clicks, which means extra traffic making its way to your site. Avoid using splash pages. One of the biggest misconceptions made by web developers these days is that they tend to incorporate splash pages into the web design. While it is certainly true that splash pages can be quite useful when it comes to advertising your brand, they tend to be really bad when it comes to SEO. The reason for this is that you are going to end up showing web crawlers very little that is of value. Web crawlers are not going to be able to make it past the splash page, which means that they are going to mistake your site for being completely devoid of content. This would make the presence of splash pages rather counterproductive. If you want to give your potential buyers a good first impression when they visit your site, incorporate the elements that would have been on your splash page into your home page. This is going to make it a lot easier for you to get indexed and ranked highly on search engines, since all of your content would be easily visible to all of the web crawlers out there. Incorporate social media. Your web design needs to have various buttons that your users would be able to use in order to share your content on social media. Focus on creating content that is highly likely to be shared, and you will surely end up getting a lot of shares on social media. And this would end up creating a lot of backlinks for your site. Backlinks show web crawlers that your site is a source of genuine content that is pertinent to the keywords that people are searching for, which would rank you highly in search engine results. Avoid text-based images. The problem with images that contain a lot of text in them is that web crawlers would not be able to read this text. This means that all of the keywords included in these images are going to go to waste. Inject your keywords into the main body of text that your site has so that web crawlers can easily detect them. This is actually quite easy to do, because text-based images require more work and are only used because people assume that they are going to be more effective at getting the message across. Thanks.